My name is Nancy Gale Fox, and I'm a psychic medium, prophet, channeler. I've done my own channeling readings for 20 years. I've been doing channel writing to stop crimes for 16 years to save life on earth, and I've been doing readings for customers for 15 years. So I wanted to explain uh, what my readings have explained, which is the way people are captured to a human sex torturing, trafficking operation, as it's done by a very sneaky system that does not meet the human eye, that people are unaware of, as it's done by a lot of subtle deception and manipulation and conspiring. And I've been piecing this system together for many years by writing pages and pages of channel writing by the Holy Spirits and famous people, including the past un-American presidents, who explain how crimes are committed, as they are angels also who fly around and see the crimes, and then they report them through my hands. And I'm a medium prophet for Jesus Christ and God Almighty and the Virgin Mary, and Jesus can be many places at one time, and then he reports through my hands and by speaking through my mouth. I'm also a targeted individual who experienced stalking, vandalism, car break and theft, a probable catnapping, slandering, and so on, and I was set up after 4 years of these gang stalking crimes went on. And many targeted individuals know this. They know what is done, and they understand it. Targeted individuals understand it. And my reading says the sex torture, sex crime, human traffic ring, they are ones who target unwed mothers, unwed parents, and divorced single mothers. So they target people by their marital status, which is against the Fair Housing Discrimination Law. But they do it subtly and secretly, so people don't know they're violating the Fair Housing Discrimination Act law. As I look up laws, I read about them, and by what my tips say in my channel writing and speaking. I was also a real estate agent from 1999 to 2009, so I know about the Fair Housing Discrimination Law. That is, people can live wherever they want. They cannot be discriminated against by their race or religion or marital status, like a single parent with children, like an unwed mother or an unwed couple of a mom and dad with children or a child. They cannot be discriminated against, and realtors know that. You cannot say a person cannot live in a neighborhood where people live who are of a different religion. And so readings say they do hate crimes, they target unwed mothers and divorced single mothers. They target them by their marital status, and my reading says they find them by looking through court records to see who's divorced, who's pregnant, and unwed. And that's who they decide to target. And they also target people by money and jobs being sent to them that they want to steal. And many are in this gang stalking sex ring to rob money because they're greedy. And so they find the people who they want to target, and that's by marital status, and that is by the way they look. The reading says they target what they call sexy moms. They hate sexy moms. They think mothers who have a good body and dress stylish, who look good with their hair, makeup, and clothes, the ones who do the frame-ups to them, who hate them, they think mothers shouldn't look like that. They think mothers shouldn't look good. They think they should dress conservative. And Reedy says many housewives, conservative type mothers and women are framing stylish, attractive moms. They hate. So they hate them, and readings say, well, it's such a long story, but I'm trying to put all the pieces together to explain how they capture people to sex torturing, trafficking, kiddie porn, and snuff movies. It is so horrible, and many accomplices doing this with them, they do not even know what happens to the people they frame and rob and stalk and catnap. And they don't even know. They just do it for money. And my reading says many are paid $1,000 a week to frame nice parents that are unwed or divorced. They don't care. They're the best mothers on earth, and their children are so happy and loved. They don't care. They hate sexy looking moms. They hate divorced single moms and unwed moms. And that's who they target and hate. And they frame them to get $1,000 a week and money on the back end for each person they get taken away by their frame up. That's what my reading says. And they work for a kiddie porn human traffic ring who pretend they do in-home investigations when they do not. And so they figure out who they're going to target. They call it focusing on. They figure out who to focus on. They scout out for sexy moms at malls, parks, everywhere, markets, to see who to focus on. That means who are they going to target and rob, blind, and frame is what it means. And reading says they pay $1,000 a week to go to shopping malls to see what mothers buy, to get their receipts. And my reading says they target them if they buy matching bras and underwear, if they buy a camisole top to wear under a dress or shirt, and they lie. They frame them with the clothes they buy, when maybe they've always worn matching bra and underwear sets. Since they were 18 years old, and to them that is normal. And they frame them with that, and my readings say very conservative, yuppie, traditional, old-fashioned type housewives do this because they are not like that, and they don't understand it. That many women into fashion, they always have matching bra and underwear sets. They always have proper undergarments for their clothes to make their clothes look flattering. So they want a proper undergarments like control top hose, a push-up bra, or whatever it is. They want flattering undergarments that are flattering for their clothes. And that's a purpose, like boy shorts women wear so they don't have a panty line, they don't have elastic showing. They frame them with boy shorts. They frame them with a strapless bra, when it is standard for a woman to have a strapless bra in their drawer in case they wear a strapless evening dress or sundress, even with a sweater over it. And they frame them with their clothes because they are not educated in fashion. They are not aware of why people buy these things. They are not credible people. And they get these uneducated types who don't know anything about bras and underwear to frame moms that they hate, and that's what they do. So my readings say 1,000,000 times over, and it's very dangerous. They have many out scouting for mothers at parks and malls to see who looks sexy, and they target very nice mothers. And reading says they're not even dressed sexy. They don't have their midriff showing, or their shirt down to their navel with their cleavage hanging out. And they don't have bare legs and hot pants and spike heels on at the park. They are just normal looking women. And they hate them if they look good in their jeans and a t-shirt. So they are women who have a good body, who look good in their clothes. And they wear clothes that are flattering, that they look their best in, and they hate them for that. So that's who they get to do the targeting frame-ups, are conservative women who hate mothers who look good in their clothes that flatter them. That's my word. If somebody looks good in their clothes, you'd say that's a flattering outfit. So that's who they target. And so they see who are they going to focus on, and they go around parks and malls scouting out for moms who look good in their clothes, who are attractive, and then they get their photo on a security camera. Then they text it all over town and tell everybody to do a thumbs up. Yes, she looks sexy. Yes, focus on that mom. That's how they pick who they're going to target, traffic, torture, and kill, and whose children they're going to kill. And that's how they pick them out. My readings say. Then they'll run their license plates on their car at a park or mall, and then they'll do a fake in-depth background check and do a frame-up. And they'll dig up anything like a parking ticket or anything at all, just to make a nice, good person who's a law-abiding citizen look bad. Reading says they'll dig up old late parking fees they paid 10, 20 years ago. They'll dig up things like they did ding-dong ditch one time by peer pressure as a child, or TP'd a house with a group of teens, and ridiculous things like this. Now, I saw a lot of TP'd houses on our street, or I saw TPing done a lot. I just kind of laughed. Now, they will make a big deal out of spilled milk, a TP'd house, a doorbell ditch, a parking ticket, anything ridiculous to do a frame-up to a nice mom. And that is what they do. They are gang stalkers targeting targeted individuals. And so that's how they do it in their big, wicked 2 or more lie texting conspiracy ring. They run around looking for a sexy mom, get their photo texted out, and they say, thumbs up, cap YES. Yes, set the mom up, they all aim, and text and conspire to frame an overnice mother to take their happy, loved children from their arms. That's what they do. And that's through the CPS secret court by their wicked liar frame-ups. And they work for a kiddie porn human traffic operation, and those men and women pretend they do in-home investigations when no, they do frame-ups. They loop bugging, they edit spy cam footage, they Photoshop photos, they text emails and text messages, hack and change the words, and they do frame-ups. That's what they do. They do pretend in-home investigations, to do a frame-up to a nice parent, to take them and all their children for their human sex traffic, kiddie porn, dead child, corpse traffic, snuff movie, sex torturing operation. And that's how they get the victims. And reading says they put a spy cam on what they call the front, they place a spy cam on the front door porch overhang when a single parent or unwed couple move into a new property, a house or apartment or condo or townhouse, what they buy or rent. They place a spy cam over on the porch overhang, and then they also place them over 2 doorways in the house facing out, and they say that's their preliminary investigation to see if they need to go further and do an in-home investigation, which of course they don't need to do. And they loop what families say to each other, and then the fake CPS caseworkers who are related to the fake in-home investigator serial killers, they loop what families say to each other by getting the bugging they do on the porches. They loop it. They sit on the back of their SUV hatch, my reading says, and if somebody says, oh, that dress looks good on you, they would loop it and put the word bad in. Like, oh, I love you so much, they'd loop love and put hate in. That's what they do. They sit around looping it so it's the opposite. And then they take all this looped bugging, they frame happy, loved families with, who get along great. They take all this looped bugging that they record it on their cell phone. Reading says the CPS secret court is a booth. They are booths they put in estate garages, and they order them online, my reading says, like Build Anything room, or you assemble them yourself like a size of a telephone booth, like a dark room and a booth. They stand in a booth at a podium and read, or rather they say what the looped bugging says they did to frame parents. They read it into their cell phone in the booth and record all the lies, saying everything the opposite. And they call that the CPS secret court hearing. Them reading opposite information they recorded on their cell phone, and then they have others type the lies they recorded on their phone and lie that's their CPS secret court hearing. When no, it's framing and looped bugging and fraud reports that they do to nice parents. So that's part of their wicked system. And they also do fraud credit reports, they do fraud income reports, fraud household bill reports, and they frame parents to look like their bills are too much for their income when they are not. And they bug their phones and steal their work calls. They steal their mail and money and jobs out of their mailboxes and their UPS FedExes off their porches they earned by their work. They steal their money from the bank they made, a little at a time, skim off the top. And they hack and steal their jobs. They steal online money sent. They steal PayPal, Cash App, Venmo by hacking. So they use their fake pretend in-home investigation equipment to rob people that they target, is what they use it for. To steal from them and to frame them. To capture them, to sex torture and murder them. And it's a wicked system. And I have done tips on this for 16 years every day and piece them together to figure out their system to stop them from doing this to human beings. And so it's very subtle and deceptive, and it's by a big conspiracy. Many are doing this just to get money, and many are doing it because they're drug addicts. My reading says the kiddie porn snuff movie pretend in-home investigator men shoot them up with meth and heroin and control them. So they keep doing frame-ups to people. So they frame good, nice, prosperous, hard-working parents to look like they make less income, to look like their bills are more than they are, and then they lie. They need to get a hold of their finances, when no, they do not. They always were just fine with their finances, paid their bills fine with their income, are good at balancing their budgets. They are robbed blind is the problem. So they lie. They have to get a hold of their finances and their mail and do frame-up reports to banks, post offices to rob them blind. And that's what they do, because they are the ones causing all the troubles. And they lie, oh, this parent has such troubles, we have to get a hold of finances, when they're sitting there causing the troubles to the parents. Because reading says 5 women an hour gang stalk a family and frame the nice parents in fraud notes they write down and say they're the gals on patrol. 5 an hour and 5 shifts a day. That's 25 women stalking a family residence to frame a nice parent and fraud notes. And reading says they steal their mail, money, and jobs and checks out of the mailbox. At the same time, they stalk the family home and frame the parents in fraud notes. And reading says they're trained to describe things wrong to make good parents look bad. And that they are trained to frame people. And reading says they steal clothes from their houses and apartments, and they do frame-ups with the clothes by displaying outfits wrong. They put garment pieces together that the mother never wore together, And they take photos and do frame-ups and lie, that gal dressed too sexy. See, the photo of the outfit? No, it's a frame-up. She never wore the outfit. They steal clothes and do frame-ups. Like if somebody wore a tube top under a shirt, so the shirt isn't see-through or too low, they would put a tube top with an evening skirt, a cocktail skirt with strappy shoes, and say, see what she wore? She dresses too sexy to be a mom. When no, she does not dress too sexy, and they are very good moms, and they never wore the outfit. They frame people with their clothes, my reading says. And most are covered head to toe, long pants, long sleeve, dark tights. And reading says they put outfits together they never wore and lie the mother's dress is too sexy to be a mother. And frame them like that, because they are committing hate crimes against sexy mothers. They hate mothers who are attractive, who have a good body. And that's who they target, and they target them because they're divorced or unwed. And that's what my readings say. So that's how they do it. Spy cam on the porch, and two facing out inside. Then they say they need to do a further investigation from the preliminary one, when no, they don't. They do frame-up files. They do looped bugging and change the words to the opposite. They put a spy cam on the mailbox, on a post, on the curb, on the garage door, on the car hood. And they do spy cams bugging in the houses, my reading says. Then they edit the spy cam footage and loop the bugging. And Photoshop photos, they edit props in bugging. They edit people and clothes in that were not there, and do a big phony fake facade to fool people. And then they lie. They need to open a case file to get custody, when no, they don't. They're the ones that are child endangering. The ones that are stalking, catnapping, stealing mail that a family needs. They're the danger. They are child endangering. Case file would be on them, because they cause the danger to the families. And the parents are not dangerous. They are overprotective, nice, good parents, where there would never, ever be a CPS or DCFS case file. And that's their wicked gang stalking, targeting system they do to frame up nice families. And it's very subtle and discreet, and they have a lot of different components in this. And that is the 5 gals on patrol an hour, 5 shifts a day. And then there are others writing fraud reports. Others are doing fake background checks and framing people. People have no record at all. They frame with a late on a bill, a old parking ticket, anything they can dig up. Spilled milk in elementary school, ding-dong ditch, TP in a house, anything like that, they use to frame the people. And they frame them with what they buy, shopping, and that's what my reading says. So it's very subtle, and that's to deceive authorities. As I said, they stand in a booth in an estate garage, and they record the looped bugging lies they did on a voice synthesizer that mimics voices, like artificial intelligence recorder. They loop the words, and they stand and read it and record it. Then another gang stalker on patrol. They have on patrol gals wherever the family members move to also. And so then they have one of them type the looped bugging liar report they read in a booth. Then they'll send it all over town. Here's a report on the individuals named on lists. That is lies. It is fraud. It is a frame-up. It is not who the people are. And that's how they fool authorities. And then they send out photoshopped photos And that is what they do in their pretend in-home investigations. When the they are nice, good parents who would never be investigated. The ones who would be investigated are the ones doing the pretend in-home investigations. The ones that are framing parents standing in booths who pretend they're doing a child protective caseworker job when they are not, when they are the danger. The ones robbing their money from banks, their work calls bugging phones are the danger, because they're the ones affecting income of the parents. So they cause all the harm. They are the problem. They cause the troubles. Then they run into banks and post offices with all these fraud files and photoshopped photos and looped bugging fake reports, frame-ups, and lie. They have to get a hold of their finances because they're having such troubles. No, they are the trouble. The ones staring right at a banker and a mailman are the trouble. They are causing the trouble. They are the ones who steal the mail and money out of the mailboxes. They are the ones who catnap family pets. They are the ones who break in and steal clothing. They are the ones who steal work calls from phones. They are the ones who steal PayPal, Cash App, Venmo by hacking. They are stealing from the family. They are child endangering, not the parents. So it's all reversed. And that is their wicked system to trick everybody, as that's what my readings explain for too long. And there's many in this wicked system. Reading says there are 5,000 gang stalkers who conspire together to harm people. And that's illegal. Two or more people conspire to harm somebody, that is called a conspiracy. So 2 or more catnap, that's a conspiracy. 2 or more rob mail out of a mailbox together, that's a conspiracy. 2 or more break in a house and rob a mother's clothes, that's a conspiracy. It's breaking and entering, that is theft. And 2 or more conspire to lie about a nice parent, that's a conspiracy. That is by a 2 or more lied conspiracy who plotted to harm somebody. Because my reading says that is how they do it. And my reading says after they do all of these wicked things, looped bugging, photoshopping, fraud bank reports, robbing parents' money they made out of the bank, siphoning it out, and mail and money and jobs, and robbing them blind, after they do all this robbery and victimizing, then 9 an hour will call and lie to set up a not needed case file. And the 9 women an hour, they might call 9 an hour all day or every day in a week. The 9 an hour who call and lie about nice parents, they are the gals on patrol. 5 an hour who write fraud notes to frame a parent, and 5 shifts a day. Then 9 an hour call and lie to set up a not needed case file. And Reedy says they do secret reports they send in that the parent never hears of. And that's also called blacklisting a parent with false allegations. So Reedy says they do secret reports the parent never hears of, and they say open the case file based on their secret report, and the secret report is all full of lies. So that's what my reading says. They describe everything wrong about nice, good moms to frame them and to set up a not needed case file. Then they say they take their money and mail from then on. Okay, so it's a bank robber ring. They are very greedy. They want to rob everybody's money and run them out of house and home, rob their businesses, and rob their UPS FedExes by looting, by fraud papers they steal with. And that's how they do it. And it starts out with stealing their mail and money out of their mailbox on a post, breaking and entering, stealing clothes, breaking in cars, stealing property, stealing the family pets, stalking the houses, scaring the families, writing fraud notes, then 9 an hour call and lie, Then they set up a not needed case file. Then they say they keep taking their money and mail from then on with the lies they told. Even if they're dismissed without prejudice in court, they keep robbing them blind. Then they set up to do medical kidnaps, to shoot the whole family up with a not wanted or needed shot. They lie they have medical, mail, and financial control of all the families they set up. How could criminals say they have control of mail, money, medical, when they are dangerous serial killers who hate crime? They are sexy mom hate crime serial killers, really. They are people that hate divorced and unwed mothers who target by divorce and marriage records. And they're very dangerous. The reading says they take the people away to human trafficking, kiddie porn movies, by medical kidnaps. So then the gals on patrol who send fraud reports all over town, who hack and rob PayPal, Cash App, Bev now, show up at a family residence, house or apartment, shoot the whole family up with drugs, and do a medical kidnap. And they have movie call sheets. Who do they need for their cast list in a kiddie porn movie? And they lie they take people to hotels and motel rooms they booked to console them, to have a meeting. No, it's for human trafficking, torturing, to murder the families. And they lie they have to take them to console them. They lie they're troubled families, and they have control of their medical, mail, and finances. So they have to give them a shot to take them to console them at a meeting, at a hotel room they booked. No. It is to take them to human traffic them, to murder them in a snuff movie, to molest them in a kiddie porn movie. And that is their secret system in a nutshell. And that's what I wanted to explain, is they're all over America in nurse uniforms, my readings say. They have 100 medical kidnapper nurse outfits, and they have male medics that are male kidnapper, human trafficker men. Reading says they have a lot of lab coats and a lot of scrubs and a lot of nurse dresses and nurse coveralls and you name it. And my reading says they're also big fat pedophile women who wear men's-sized lab coats, who say they're Department of Health and Welfare Services caseworkers. The reading says they are no such thing. They are phony. They are child molester, medical kidnappers in big men lab coats who have pod storage unit offices as a mock-up. It's a pretend Department of Health Welfare Service caseworker office. It is fake. It is all fake. It is all pretend. They are not real in-home investigators. They are not real gals on patrol seeing what a mother is doing. They are not gals on patrol wherever the family members live to, covering families for well-being and safety. They are not giving relaxing shots to take people to console them. They are not real Department of Health and Welfare Services caseworkers. They are not real Child Protective Services caseworkers because they are not protecting children. They are the ones who are child endangering, not the parents. And that's their wicked system that I have been figuring out day in and day out by my medium readings for a very long time, for 18 years, every day. And so that's the tip, so somebody can find them out already, as they are child endangering. They should have gag orders and keep-aways and not be near anybody, as it's all pretend. They have a lot of people, they're human trafficking, that are under their front and backyard and houses around parks. My reading says that they took by these awful frame-ups done by a lot of greedy pigs who do it to make money. My reading says they're paid $1,000 a week to sit in a market to see what a mother buys, and they frame them with market receipts to see did they spend more on themselves than their children, Then they lie they're a selfish, self-centered mom who should lose custody because of what they bought at the market. When parents often spend more on themselves, like for carrot juice or something, their kids, or certain coffee or something kids don't eat or drink, for Christ's sake. And they do this to parents who buy an equal amount or more for their kids. They will frame them. They also lie they have frivolous spending. Like if they buy 10 Yoplait yogurts for $10 each, the mom thinks, wow, I saved $5 buying 10 Yoplaits for themselves and their kids. They would lie, oh, the mom's spending's out of control. She bought 10 Yoplaits. Why did that gal do that? And then they'll set them up for buying Yoplaits or ridiculous things, anything they can make a mountain out of a molehill out of, make up a fake story about. When the only reason anybody would spy on a mother at a market would be to see is she buying gallons of alcohol every day, drinking all day and driving drunk to pick her kids up from school. Is she spending so much on alcohol she has nothing to pack for her children's lunch? Now that would be a dangerous mother whose child endangering because they're buying alcohol at the market. They target people who don't buy any alcohol at all. They will target them and say, oh, the bread wasn't nutritious enough, and ridiculous things. Why do they do it? They want to make $1,000 a week. To frame a nice parent, to break a child's heart is why. Because they don't care. They don't care their children are happy and loved. They don't care they take him away by their liar, sinful mouse, crying. They could care less about the child's life. They think they get him adopted out to a mom who doesn't look good, who isn't in snug clothing, who doesn't look a wee bit sexy, who looks conservative like them, in pleated, soft-cuffed khaki pants and a button-up blouse that's loose. They think mothers shouldn't wear tight clothes that are flattering, that make them look good. And they hate them, so they break their children's heart and think they're adopted out. Well, no. They are taken and put in a dog cage for kiddie porn movies, molested and murdered. That's what they are doing to them. These wicked women doing frame-ups, gals on patrol, gals stalking at the markets, and that's the wicked system. Amen. That's it. If somebody would just prove it and gag them all and give them all a keep away because they are child endangering.